Hey everybody, it's your boy Shax from the video. In today's video, we're looking at Tomcat again with an update of the Epoch Kodo mounts. Obviously, you've seen some cool videos that we've done. He's done the Mechanical Strider, he's done the Night Elf racial mount as well. So today we're looking at the Tauren mount. So I will leave the link in the video in the description. So please give them a like, give them a comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Also, don't go to give a like, a comment, and subscribe on this channel. Also, just help us. We're very close to 1,500 subscribers. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get into the video. Enjoy the video, guys.
This must be one of my most popular requests since I started my channel. Well, today's the day, my friends. I finished what Blizzard started and updated the Epic Kodo.
Oh, let's go. I'm super excited about this.
Versions did get a fix up. I went ahead and used those as a base, similar to how I approached the Nightsabers. In an attempt to be efficient, I modeled one of the armor plates first and used this as a base for the rest of them. I count myself fortunate for the fact that Blizzard were forced to reuse a tiny patch of texture for almost the entire armor, because this meant that it was made with a lot of copy pasting of the same basic design. After all, this was 2004. Trek 2 was conquering the West was conquering Iraq, the UK had just outlawed fox hunting, and games had to be developed to essentially be able to run on a TI-84. Had things been different, I might have needed to model all these armor pieces uniquely, which would have taken me a ton of time. Time I would rather invest.
I said the armor looks great, so he's like all he's basically done is just took one piece of the armor and changed it up.
Unlike the original, I'm using separate plates for all the armor, rather than meshed together ones.
Okay.
It brings the risk of clipping issues with it, so I tried my best to keep that in mind and space them out a bit at the edges. You inevitably run into some issues, but it's often a matter of just making it work when you rig it, so I wasn't too worried. For every remake, I commit the sin of the modern day artist, and look for ways in which I can improve classic art made by somebody far superior to me. Well, one of the crimes I committed was bastardizing the leg armor. The original was wearing these fun little slippers.
Oh,
I
God.
made it into something more bad already, but less fun little slipper. Yeah, the armor wasn't the challenging part of this model. The challenging part of this model? Well, we'll get to that when the time comes. But so far, it was pretty smooth sailing for me and my Kodo friend. Minor oddity, the horns of the Epic version are completely different in design to literally every other Kodo in the game.
Yeah, they are, aren't
I'll
they?
be able to tell you why this is. It's one of those things in WoW art that you just have to accept. I remodeled the horns and unwrapped the texture of the new horn onto the texture of the previous horn, and managed to make it work perfectly. Which was nice, because fuck painting the horns myself.
Yeah, I would like to know why the horn's different on different Kodos. So obviously the normal ones obviously got that bit of a tree one, and then obviously the battle ready ones got the one with the spike. I would like to know the lore about that. Maybe we could look into that, guys.
The wind in my back and confidence in my brain, it was time for the head. It was by far the most intricate part of the whole thing, and it contrasted
because you've got all the armor to put on there, jeez.
Pasting here. As always, it was important to me to have it resemble the original, so I made sure to get the design right. The plates are all very closely stacked together, and I knew I would risk making it look way too busy. But I would just have to figure that out when I texture it. If I really turn out to have fucked myself on the model,
even the nose armor there, he's doing really good with the nose armor.
Folks. I was wondering if I should make these videos longer and show more of the process or not. Due to viewer attention, I'm a little bit scared. But at the same time, I feel like it's more interesting to watch the footage when it doesn't jump around so randomly and shows a more complete process. I have many hours of footage to edit down for every video, which is tight. So yeah, let me know what you think. And yes, no worries. I did later shorten the snout so it didn't look like a goddamn pig. I modeled my head for now though. It was time to make the change.
It looks good. Oh, I like the chains.
If just used leather straps like the Brewfest Kodo does, that would have been lovely. But it doesn't. Because it has chains. Chains are one of those annoying things in 3D art. There's three main ways of doing chains. 2D, like the boys did in 04, semi-3D, and fully 3D. In other words, they either use a fuck ton of polys or look like garbage. There's no
God,
in between on this.
I bet this is difficult.
Binary choice, and no matter which one you pick, someone is gonna have reason to be mad at you.
So he's had to make the little chain and then obviously copy paste. That's difficult, mate. That's really, obviously if he needed to add one on, he had to make one on, then copy paste it to where it needed to go. Very good for design. Wow, I never knew all this went into it.
I only had one real option. My approach to the chains was to model a single link, texture unwrap it, and then copy paste it.
Yeah, copy it, yeah.
Unwrapped before duplicating, the texture layout of the links would be identical.
Wow.
Which meant that I could copy paste the texture of one link very easily to all the other ones, and it would fit perfectly. For the bolts, or rivets or whatever, I was gonna do the same thing. Seeing as these videos take a ton of work as it is crucial that I'm time efficient. So naturally, I forgot to spend 4 seconds to texture unwrap my initial chain link before duplicating it 50 times. So that I had to spend an hour afterwards manually unwrapping every single link and stacking up all the UVs in order to get the same simple result.
Oh God.
Folks. You want to stack up UVs, just unwrap them all, scale on individual origins times 1000, and switch the medium point and scale to 0.001. Rotate the ones that are rotated, done. You can give me money through means of a super thanks down below. Or this is more obvious than I think it is, and I look like an idiot now. Anyway, next the UV unwrapped the armor and the drum, so basically everything. Once again, not gonna spend much time on this one, because I respect my audience, and their happiness, which is why I'm also
is he doing the drums now?
on the next part,
Oh no.
rigging. I will voice one piece of discontent though. WoW rigs sometimes have tiny little fucky hidden bones that you don't see, which means that for some reason, your model behaves weird, and you spend half an hour looking for which bone that part of your model is unintentionally rigged to.
This is the hard bit, all the
Find
motion.
the bone because it's 3 centimeters long, a problem that also plagues me in real life. Rigged and ready, we all know what comes next.
Wow, that's great already. Just in that. Wow.
You made it this far, my friends. For this model, I did the thing so universally torturous it makes you wish the Y2K bug happened. I'll learn a new program. As some of you know, I embarrassed myself for the past few months by painting my textures in Substance Painter. Substance Painter is a great program for many reasons.
So you've got a new
Painting
thing?
is not one of them, so I switched to 3D Coat like a good boy. I dropped my 95 euros on the license, spent, not kidding,
95
2 hours
euro,
importing
wow.
to try and figure out why it keeps coming out all fucky, and embarked on my fun learning experience. The tools were, honestly, decently intuitive. It took me a while to find out I could color pick with V. The freeze tools confused me somewhat, as well as how to polygon select. But I was
You've had to literally learn a new program.
My
It's
entire
difficult.
approach to painting textures was about to change. Rather than my abortion of a workflow that I clobbered together in Substance Painter using fill layers, painting in layer masks, and zero color picking, yes, that's what I did, I instead adopted a workflow proper texture artists use when they hand paint. I knew that working in this new approach would bring a bunch of new challenges.
That looks brilliant already. I can't wait to see what he does with the skin.
However, I currently have quite limited time for videos, and I couldn't exactly afford fucking it up and being left with an inadequate end result. But, however tricky a new set of tools can sometimes be, I handled it like the fashion industry does with a small child. I made it work. I laid a base of simple values for my model, after which I started blocking out the details. Something that I noticed in Blizzard's new Kodo models is that they changed the pattern of the skin quite a bit, making it less elephanty and more bumpy. This is where I usually get a bunch of comments saying, "Tom, you should remake the Kodo with the original skin pattern." I'm not remaking the whole Kodo just to change the skin pattern, guys. So far, I was surprised how well it was actually going. I picked up the tools pretty quick, and I was already doing far better than I was in Substance Painter. Like you saw earlier, I decided to give every chain link and bolt its own space in the texture. This is a crime against optimization, because if I had instead stacked them up in the same texture space, I could fit it into the texture file of the armor, and I could save myself a draw call. However, it would take about 2 minutes to revert this decision if I ever wanted to.
Oh, doing the chains and everything? Oh god.
Separately. The drum was a pickle. In all honesty, the drum you see me texture here was originally a quick concept version that I threw together to try out a design, which I just ended up rolling with when I was texture unwrapping the model.
It's kind of good how he
The
puts that
design
bit
needed more
on.
to be finished. It just didn't really look like a war drum to me. I planned on adding a metal brace to the bottom and put some rivets around the edges, and figured it would probably do a lot to help the design. For now, however, I just gave it some basic shading and groundwork to come back to later. Having painted in a rough base for my drum, I went on.
That looks great, mate. So you're not the best at colouring.
Whatever they are.
You've come a long way since you've done the sabers and mechanical striders and stuff.
Went into Photoshop, exported my texture layout as a PNG, and copy-pasted like I was developing towns in New World. My rivets all ready, I went on to continue painting some more levels of detail into the armor. I drew in some soft highlights to break up the surface of the metal a little bit. One thing to keep in mind is that this armor was forged by a Tauren. I would give him a pass if there's a minor imperfection or two in the execution of it.
The armor looks
These
great.
people have 3 fingers and their houses are made of dead animals. After all these years, I never bothered to learn much about the lore behind these creatures, so I decided it would be fitting to have a look at the wiki. Kodos are massive reptiles with hardly visible scales. Bullshit. Wild Kodos are normally herbivorous. Vegan. Wild Kodos are normally vegan, but will not attack unless threatened. In the waning years of their lives, Kodos instinctively track to the Kodo graveyard in the center of Kalimdor, where they spend their last hours. While Kodos are generally considered gentle by nature, they're fierce opponents when threatened, and have occasionally been known to devour their enemies whole. Jesus Christ. The green, great brown, great grey, thunderbluff, and great golden Kodos were considered to be alpha members of the herds in Desolace. A Kodo can eat its own weight in grass each day, but a lot comes out the other end. I don't know who wrote this lore, but they should have written Shadowlands. I decided that rather than fixing it, I was going to ditch my old drums and go back to the source material once more. Bit of a trend there. I hadn't really put enough thought into the way I was doing them, and it didn't really feel like they were going anywhere. Changing my direction once more, I wasn't going to make an exact copy of the originals, I was going to simply incorporate the most prominent features of the originals into what I already had, making a hybrid of sorts. Every video I do, I end up going back to the source material. It's just hard to argue with it. And with my drum remade, I went and laid down the last highlights. Some bits and some bobs, the way it goes. I was worried that learning new software...
Highlights always make it come to life though. They look great.
But in the end, I'm more than pleased with the result that I ended up getting. Before the reveal, I want to make a quick point though. Like many of you, I like the meme on Blizzard. It's fun, and I wish that they would change some of their priorities. I know that a lot of you share that sentiment. However, with all my memeing, I want to make one thing clear. The problem is not with the artists at Blizzard. If anything, their work has been consistently awesome through even the darkest days of the game. As an artist,
you are
do
better.
not decide what you make. Your higher-ups do. And in Blizzard's defense, for every warglaive there are 19 variants of barrel, wooden fences, and a pile of ogre shit in Daenerys. All that stuff needs to be made. I feel like most artists at Blizzard would probably be stoked to remake an old classic like the epic Kodo mount. And trust me, they would do an infinitely better job than me. Not their call though. Saw a few people take out anger on the art team. However, if you're upset about some of Blizzard's choices and want to vent your frustration, the right place to direct your anger is their Twitter interns. And with that, we, my friends, approach the final hour. First, if you're liking what you're seeing, you would help me out a ton if you subscribe to my channel, hit the
but make sure you hit that subscribe, guys.
And comment. Also comment. These videos take a ton of work to make, and nothing motivates me more than seeing that people are excited about my content. And sorry that this video took a while. I'm in over my tits with my thesis. And with all that said, my good people,
here we go, boys. That's the original.
The
Now look at the new one.
The ever popularly requested, new and updated, epic Kodo mount.
I love it when he does this. Oh, here he comes. Bro. That looks epic. Oh my god, look how good it looks. Dude. It doesn't just make one though, it makes all of the epic ones. It's so good. Wow. I wish they'd make that into the game. Amazing. The Great Grey Kodo. Mate, that is brilliant. So good. The Great Brown Kodo. Can't follow it, mate. The amount of work and effort you put into it is just flawless. The Great White one looks even better. With the red eye, that's so cool. The Black War Kodo. Now this is cool. It's got bronze armor instead of silver. So good. Well done, man. Awesome. Guys, make sure to give him a like, give him a sub. I would really appreciate it. He's such an amazing graphic designer. I wish Blizzard would hire him, but yeah, it is what it is. But guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my videos also. If you want to see more videos of reacting to and everything, but also make sure to do a comment down below. Tell me if you want me to react to any other videos that you see. But yeah, I'll see you later, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. Peace.